but I've been testing a lot before. 497 MPG, that's pretty good to start with, no engine tuning, etc. That's decent. I'll take that.
Oh no, he didn't. Well, I suppose it's time for me to show Rye to the... No, to school Rye. And it took me forever, but I finally figured out how to do this. You see these weird proboscis type bodies here? This one. Oh, yes indeed, I have beat his score. We're gonna give this our Ace branding. I don't know why. Probably actually not really in line with their company, but we're gonna go with Ace for this. Much like the previous ones. And then this one's going to be carbon fiber, monocoque carbon fiber. Now this is the year 2020, even though we're in 2021. That is as far forward as it can go for some reason. Rear longitudinal. Now this is something that I was trying to hang away from for the longest time, because if you go front wheel drive with a front transverse, you do get quite good fuel efficiency and your handling is good. But with what we're doing, the highest mileage can be done with a rear engine, though unfortunately you have to do some suspension finagling to make it not terminally oversteer.
It does have a bit of terminal oversteer.
Yeah, just like he said. Pushrod and McPherson strut. Now double wishbone, you can go with a lower slung car and all that, but this one is lighter and that is all that matters. And we're going to quality slide everything. New engine project. Literally just exactly the same thing. We're going to make it as small and whatever as possible. ALSI, no variable valve lift, billet, lightweight titanium, and as he said, cast. But I'm also going to drop the size here because that also very much matters. Now I don't remember exactly what these details are, but we'll figure that out as we go along. I'll show you my process. And yes, zero intercooler as it shows, high quality everything. Injection, direct injection per cylinder, race, and 100 RON. Just like he said, 100 timing, 2000 RPM, because for some reason low RPM means good fuel efficiency. Don't ask me. Tiny, none, and quality spam. We'll finish the rest of this off in a bit. We are going to now finish off the rest of the car. So we're going for the one here that's got the cutout window. And we're just going to try to shrink this body up as much as possible, because less cabin space for this game, for some reason, means better fuel efficiency. Don't ask me, bro. Don't ask me. I suppose what they did is they went, well, if you have a smaller cabin, maybe the vehicle is less size. So less size means that you have better fuel efficiency. This quality means nothing whatsoever. Rear wheel drive, manual, 4-speed. Drop that down a little bit. Open because, I don't know, we want it to be a little bit easier to control. So an open differential will help with that. Carbon ceramic disc, 1 piston. Carbon ceramic disc, 1 piston. And make them as small as possible and quality spam it. Fully clad, drop that off. Increase that. Pretty much, I'm doing basically what he did. I know I don't want to be a copycat, but there is only a few things you can do to actually truly make these cars at their absolute maximum. We're going to select sport, and this is where I'm going to deviate a little bit. I am going to make my car handleable, where you can control it. So you want a really soft rear suspension, so then it has tires that touch the ground at all times. We're going to get rid of a little bit of front camber and add a little bit of extra rear camber, and then stiffen up the front a bit. And there we go. No longer terminal oversteer. Oversteer? Yes. Terminal? Not so much. And we are already at 500.1 miles per gallon. We have already beaten his score. 501.2? Ooh, we are getting real good here. Now, that engine that we didn't finish off, we're going to go up here and we're going to make sure that we've got this selected so we can actually see what the engine is, and we're going to do a little bit of tweaking. Now, apparently having a turbo with 0 boost changes nothing on the fuel efficiency, so that's a thing that we don't have to be concerned about. We only have a 39% efficient engine, but our fuel efficiency likes it. Look at me forgetting to do ball bearing. We are doing pretty good. Apparently having no Undertray helps my fuel efficiency. I don't know. I've never seen that before. That's a new one for me. I won't bore you, but with a lot of finagling, I was able to get this up to 510.7, and I finally decided, no, you know what, even still. There we go. Beefcake. That's what we're calling this car, the Ace Beefcake. Oh dear, now I have to do the impossible, which is to make this thing look good. And we're gonna try to make it look within the Ace's wheelhouse of design. This is going to be problematic. But let's start off with making it white. This is gonna be a tricky body because there's a lot of like weird shapes that have formed and like creases along the roofline and whatnot. And the fact that it just looks really, really dorky. I mean, I could try to make a U-tray. Yes, let's do that. Let's make this into a stupid ass ute. Except for the fact that the engine, yes, is right in the middle of said U-tray. We'll see what we can do. Is there two-tone? There is. Oh, yes. Except I don't think that will quite fit within what I usually design. Oh, none of these do. I think we might have to go with this, even if it's not quite 100% what we want. All right, let's get to designing. We got some cover-ups. I'm not decided on this grill yet. I think, no, we're not gonna go with that. What do we go with? There we go. A little bit of a suck-in grill there. And the rest of this we're gonna try to keep very aerodynamic, except for the fact that this really shouldn't have a cutout here if we were going for realistic aerodynamics. So the question is now, do we make this into a ute? Or do we cover this in? I think I know how to make the decision. Is this like the wheels where you can just put a patch there and it'll not actually go into where the wheel well is? Is it the same here? No, it's not. Okay, we're making this into a ute. That's how we've made the decision. There we go. The shittiest ute tray to ever have been made into existence. Sure. Awesome. Fan-diddly-tastic. Oh, this is a terrible idea. I don't know why I agreed to this. But who did I agree to? Myself? Yeah, that was stupid. Let's move on. There's not really a whole lot to do on here. You really do want to keep this car as smooth as possible. There we go. We have our wing mirror cameras, which are a thing. I really don't know how to do this really any better. I want this to be nice and small, but also gray, so you can tell that there's a camera there. I don't know. Just, you want to show off that you've spent, hold on, give me a second, over $3 million. You want them to know. You don't want to look at this car and go, why would you buy that? You've got little signs of tech. Except maybe it doesn't fit there. Maybe it should go here where it normally would go. It blends in too much. I don't know how to do it any better. All right, it'll have to do. Let's move on to door handles. I have an idea for door handles that I've never tried before that I've just thought of, and I want to try it out. It's kind of like you stroke your finger on it to open it type thing. And with keyless entry these days, you can just walk up to it and then just stroke it. And you don't have to pull any door handle, no mechanical things to come out. And if they ever want to work on it, it's kind of designed where you can just kind of stick a screwdriver under one of these little bits here or a spudger, as I believe they're called. And then you can lift this up and then you can mechanically open it. But yeah, there you go. That's how you open up a car door on a car that's worth $3.03 million. All right, let's do windshield wipers. You know what? I have an idea as well. Oh, this one's a bad idea, but what I kind of thinking is maybe do a similar thing here, where when you want to put on windshield wipers, like a little opening will retract, and then the windshield wiper will come out and go onto the rest of the, like it will go on and start wiping the windshield. Yeah, I think we're gonna try designing something a little bit special like that. There we go. They look wonky and offset, but that's because that's how just windshield wipers work. They are not symmetrical. What else do we do? I mean, I could add a fuel filler, but basically the idea is you add fuel to your 40-liter fuel tank once. Forever. That's it. You're done. All right, maybe not quite so amazing. We'll add something. And because we're running a rear engine car, we're gonna have to put this on the front. It will take a little bit of room away from the front, but well, what you gonna do? Front butt. Ha! I have another idea. In case of emergency cooling, you've got a little duct here that can open up. So yeah, because this is a rear engine, you still need some cooling. Let's go ahead and try to decide what we're gonna do with a taillight here, because this is probably not gonna turn out quite so well. This is interesting. What the heck? What even is this? Oh, I might have to use that one day. Not today, because that doesn't quite fit the style. Or maybe it does. I do kind of like this design, and the fact that I don't have to do much work to make it work. That is pretty cool. And even if it does have chrome on there, yes, that looks pretty cool. Now, what else do we do? I think we've done pretty much everything. We've got windshield wipers. We've got this here, because we are going for the extreme here. We have got extreme fuel economy here, which means that this car is not going to be a normal car. This is just outrageous. It looks so weird with the fact that I've done things so strangely. I think I might do a little bit of something here at the back. We can do some design. Oh yeah, a little bit of extra cooling too. That'll work. That's not great. I have never seen that before. I do like the fact that the body molding can be done around here. That's particularly great. I do love that. Makes it so much easier so I don't have to place it piece by piece like I did the last one. But this issue, this is a new one, and I'm not a fan. This is not great. Yeah. So that has to go bye-bye. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now it looks like there's something there at least. Probably gonna put an Undertray on this too. Carbon fiber Undertray? Yes, sirree. This is by far and away the weirdest vehicle I've made before. You know what? We're gonna get rid of this. We're not gonna have that. We are gonna have a proper door handle. Even if it is probably gonna have to be a Tesla door handle to be that smooth. You know what? No, I'm gonna go with this. I've never done this one before. And then make that very thin. So like, it's really flush. There we go. Much better. Now let's get rid of the chrome because we want this to be as light as possible. So it's going to be carbon fibrate. Oh, that's part of the reason why this doesn't work is because it's kind of over the edge of door opening. So yeah, that kind of sucked. A little bit better now. We make it stick out with color or maybe just carbon fiber. Yeah, I think just carbon fiber. All right, I do like the glossy back end. That's done quite well. And what? See, I want to put a number plate in there now, but I want it to be behind the glossiness. I have an idea. We'll deal with it in a second. Don't worry, this will look good eventually. We got a little bit of an issue here, but you can see what I'm going for here. A overlay color of glass, so then the number plate is behind it. I wish it worked a little bit better than this, but I don't really have much of a choice here other than to make it custom, and I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and do a similar thing on the front here. There we go. We have our encased in glass, I'd like to say, front area. So that looks pretty fun. This also has a very similar thing, except for the fact that it's got glitchy tail lights on it as well. What else do we do here? Like, that looks really weird and really funky, but when you're dealing with car companies that are doing weird and funky things, they tend to generally lose their brain a little bit. Do we do anything else? No. So we got air coming in here, but it does have to expel somewhere. So I think we might do just a little bit of venting, but only just a little bit. Are we done? I think we might be. Yes. All right, let's go take this over to BeamNG to see how this thing handles. Let's just double check that we've got everything good. 510.7, which, what was it that he got again? 496.8. That's 13.9 miles per gallon better. I mean, that's how much a shitty old car gets in fuel mileage. My car is a car better than his. That's how good my car is. Thank you very much. In fact, it's a muscle car better than his, because that's what you would kind of not be upset with getting a muscle car that's berserkly powered. So basically, mine is a muscle car with huge amounts, like 1,000 horsepower better than his car. Do you like my logic? Does it track? Does it read well? All right, let's go over to BeamNG and see what my absolute annihilating car is like. This car does have oversteer, but not terminal oversteer. 5 minutes 52 to get a... Oh my god, that is atrocious. Oh my god. I was expecting a high 3 minutes because that's kind of the limit of what cars do around the track. It's like a really slow car will get close to 4 minutes. This is nearly 6. What the hell? Oh my god, okay. Woo, boy, that can't be helping it, honestly. Yep, we can't switch this one to daytime, unfortunately. Well, here is our YouTuber, and with its minuscule tires, we're gonna see what sort of things we can do here. Okay, so first, let's do a timed 0 to 100. Well then, seems that we can't get all the way to 100. Let's go ahead and stick on a better app here that's more poignant to what we're trying to do. I'm confused. There used to be a fuel mileage gauge here. Ah, that's what I was doing wrong. Simple fuel consumption statistics. I'm assuming that... Statsy. Yep, okay, we got our brake temperatures, our weight distribution, our RPM, our boost gauge, which shouldn't actually really read anything there. Let's turn our lights on. Oh god, that's horrible. Let's turn that off. Okay, there we go. Good. Our lights are off again. And our fuel usage. Currently using 0 liters per 100. That is, yeah, not quite what I was hoping for. Let's go have a look at changing to miles per gallon. There we go. Now we got miles per gallon. Whilst flooring it, we're getting 137 miles per gallon. Our average fuel usage is infinity. Oh, right. You can't beat infinity. That's impossible. I am literally blowing you out of the water. This is crazy. Now, I am not going to do what he did, which is to leave it for 4 hours doing its own thing. Well, because... yeah, I want to release this video today, and to do that, I can't exactly leave it running for 4 hours. I'm sorry, guys. I know you wanted to see a side-by-side comparison, but just know. My car is better. Right, let's go take this over to do something else. I do love how funky this car looks. I wish I could make the roofline just a little bit lower though. That would be cool. Oh, I forgot to do an interior. Oh, I'm an idiot. Anybody else can comment on me saying that, but not right. Now, I am sure that everybody here is wondering, but Phil, how does it do in a desert sand situation with those pizza cutter tires? Well, seemingly not horrible. Also, seemingly not great. That is a lot of tire sink. And my fuel usage of 0.00 per 100? Not great. Oh no, it is actually sledding along the bottom. Yep. That is actually scraping. That is hilarious. Oh god. So, these cars, not so great in a desert. But Phil, I hear you ask, how does it do up Pikes Peak? I'm not gonna drive up the entirety of Pikes Peak, am I? Oh dear. And 1, 2, skip a few. Here is the ending. Woo! Yeah, I spent just under half an hour driving up here. My goodness. But it's not the slowest time. Final corner, I could smell it.
Heavily.
Along with the smell of oil and like diesel or whatever the fuel smells like back in the day. Oh yeah, that was a slow car, but also I was slow whilst driving it. This thing I had floored almost the entire way, and it used 0.54 of a liter. So a little over half a liter to go up this entire way. And also one thing you may want to notice here is even with the engine turned on, it got really slow here. This thing has zero warmth right now. This engine is frozen. Goodness gracious. This was arduous. This took a really long time. Anyway, let's go give this thing a Phil score. And unlike normally when I'll do like a recording for the Phil score, because I'm not actually anywhere in particular doing a race because this is not a racing type car, we're going to do this one live. And I'm going to start with styling. I actually think this thing is really, really cute. You know, like an anime cat girl. What? Oh, that took a handbrake to do and it still wasn't that impressive. Anyway, so yeah, I would give this thing probably, oh, okay, well, that's a glitch. 7 out of 10? I don't know. I like it, but there's so many questionable choices, like some idiot decided to make this into a U, like... Anyway, moving on. So that gets a 7 out of 10. As for acceleration, 1. Do I give this? No, I can't give it a 0 because the thing isn't completely busted. It's just not particularly great. So I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. As for handling, this thing isn't particularly great, but it doesn't say terminally oversteer. Let me take you downhill so you can see what I mean. So it gets a little bit skittish, but it's not horrible. So we like brake into the corner, turn it around. It's not horrible, but that's mostly because you can't go particularly fast. So I'm going to give this thing a 6 out of 10. Woo! Yeah, I induced that and I still didn't want to terminally oversteer. Whoops, hit a curb. Woo! Oh, okay, well don't handbrake this thing. It's not particularly conducive to it. Let's move on to fun factor. 1, because some people find fun in gloating and bragging about like, oh, look at me, I've got a very fuel efficient car. And remember, as for the cool factor, it's not. I mean, it looks funky. I'll give it that. But this car isn't that cool, so I would give this thing maybe a 4 out of 10 for cool factor. Because at least people will know that this is the absolute ultimate car. I mean, it's better than the penultimate fuel efficiency car. This is the ultimate car. When it comes to fuel efficiency, that is. Like, Jesus Christ, it is not much better than that. And as for the trackability, well, I was able to take it on a track and finish a lap of Pikes Peak, but it's so incredibly slow that I'm going to give this thing a 3 out of 10. And I don't know what the joint score up there is, but I'll put it on the screen. There's its weekend category score. Not particularly great, because I do remember giving them many low scores. Anyway, let's move on to the daily scores. As for the features, it has one seat to keep the weight low. It has no infotainment whatsoever. There's no aerial to slow it down. Because you need that weight reduction. Oh boy, this is struggling up this hill now. I think this is doing worse here than what it did on Pikes Peak. I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 10, because that's how many seats you get. Moving on to comfort. This thing is a little bit stiff. Like, it doesn't have an anti-roll bar, but I had to make the front really stiff and the rear really soft. So it gives it a very unbalanced thing here. So I would give this probably for comfort a 2 out of 10, because it is a very basic seat. Oh. Nah, this is not going to get a good score here either. Quality. So many things are spammed up to max. This thing is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give this probably a 9 out of 10. Moving on to practicality. It's a U. So I mean, what do you expect? Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. I made the rear suspension really soft. So maybe it doesn't have a particularly good score there. I'm going to have to give this thing probably a 2 out of 10. Because you could fit a lot of grocery shopping in the back there, but you can't really park anywhere else because people will just start nicking things out of the back. So yeah, that doesn't get a good score. As for value, sure, you're going to save a lot on fuel, but my God, at what cost, man? This is not particularly great. What was it, $3.03 million? I'd have to double check that, but oh my goodness. Not particularly great. The resale on this is going to be abysmal. Oh my God, there's a car park here. Oh, I have to check this out. Ooh, this looks like fun. Ooh, indeed. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go all the way up this while still doing this. As for ongoing costs, well, this thing is going to be incredibly cheap. It's going to have slightly more expensive tires because these will be like a very low production run tire, but you might be able to get away with putting maybe a motorcycle tire on here if you want to save some fuel there. Some money there on the tires. Well, this isn't anything like Grand Theft Auto. There's no jump ramp here at all. Down again, down again. But as for fuel and everything else, this thing is going to be an absolutely amazing car. And with so little things to break because it has no entertainment in this car, I would say that this car probably gets an 8 out of 10 because this engine is going to be very, very low production run because not many people are going to want to spend the amount of money that this car costs. So you'd probably do what Volkswagen did with their XL1, I think it was called. That thing they sold at a massive loss. So yeah, there's your trade-off. This will hurt the company, but it's a swan song. Not a swan song. Magnum opus? A thing to show off. Much like many of the Ace cars, this is not going to be a mass production car. So, let me go now over to voiceover and we're going to talk about the final score.
So over here in voiceover land, I can tell you that this thing got a total score of 45.
Yeah, so not a very good score. As you can see here, it's below the Fieri Dino and above the H&S cladding and the old Ace hypermiler. Yeah, these hypermilers have a trade-off. You've got really great fuel economy, good for the environment, blah, 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 polar bears and all that. But the car, as a car, stinks quite bad. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, considerably more than I hope you enjoyed TwinTurBros' video. And I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.